is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The province's police watchdog taking over an investigation in Kingsville after a suspect was taken to hospital following their arrest. It happened Monday morning just before 8:30. Members of the Essex County, Ontario Provincial Police responding to a report of a suspicious vehicle on Grandview Avenue. That investigation led them to arrest one person, tasing them in the process. While in custody, the individuals said to have required medical attention, taken to hospital by ambulance. As is customary, the SIU now probes the circumstances. A fire before dawn today in Wheatley is under investigation. Chatham-Kent fire crews called to a home on Erie Street North shortly before 4 a.m. A viewer submitted the image you see here of the scene. CTV News has reached out to fire officials for information on the extent of the damage. We did not hear back by airtime. The next wave of doctors hoping to break into healthcare are getting their feet wet here in Windsor, Essex.
It's an awesome opportunity to go and learn in a more rural setting, get a better idea of what medicine looks like outside of the big fancy academic centers, and try to understand how do we kind of deal with and help our communities when we don't have all the resources we need. You're really on the front lines.
10 Western University students will spend the week as temporary staff members at Erie Shores Healthcare. Physicians in training spending the afternoon learning how to suture, intubate, and scan. The work is part of Erie Shores' efforts to showcase life in a rural healthcare setting. In recent years, the Leamington-based hospital has seen large improvements in physician recruitment and retention.
It's a great opportunity for us to showcase what the community has to offer with regards to mentoring new entrants into the medical profession. We take it not only as a social responsibility, but also as an opportunity to showcase what medicine is all about.
A Windsor man is denying he was behind an explosion that evacuated the Stellantis assembly plant during the height of COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Now, nearly 5 years later, a judge is hearing what witnesses say happened before the blast. CTV's Michelle Molesky reports.
On November 4th, 2021, the Windsor Assembly plant was evacuated due to an explosion. 2 weeks later, in a high-profile execution of a search warrant led by the explosives unit, James Harris was arrested on Drouillard Road. Now 37 years old, Harris has pleaded not guilty to intent to cause damage by explosion and arson with disregard for human life. Court has learned the explosion occurred on the second floor of the factory in a decommissioned part of the plant. No one was hurt, and as you can see from court images, the damage was minimal. But the Crown says Harris placed the explosion and even warned fellow employees to stay away 2 days beforehand. He heard something was going to go down up there to avoid the area. Co-worker Robbie Johnsrud testified Tuesday. He admitted on cross-examination Harris never elaborated on the statement, and Johnsrud conceded rumors swirl around Windsor Assembly like it's a high school. At the time of the explosion, Stellantis was rolling out a COVID-19 mandate, forcing all employees to be vaccinated. Another colleague told the judge Harris handed out flyers made by a lawyer who was recruiting people to form a class action lawsuit against the mandates. A third colleague told the court Harris was upset about the mandates, and she assumed Harris was not vaccinated. The material seized from Windsor Assembly and items collected from Harris's apartment were tested by an explosive expert. Their report before the court indicates the items seen here couldn't generate enough heat or spark to reignite when tested in a lab. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
With homelessness continuing to put pressure on Windsor, city leaders are hitting the road in search of answers. CTV's Bob Belichico reports on what they saw and what could make its way here.
I go to the worst places when I go somewhere just to see what they're doing.
City Councilor Ronaldo Agostino has been to Seattle.
They had, a lot of ambassadors walking the streets, a lot of police walking the streets, and they had certain areas where, you couldn't lay down on the street, you couldn't sit on the street, you couldn't sleep on the street, you couldn't set up a tent there.
Agostino has also been to Calgary.
There's people living in rooms. There's dining room areas, big shower areas. They use retinal scans and fingerprints just to get in and out of the building.
He says as the city of Calgary has continued with the revitalization of their downtown core, the services move further away. Agostino also noted the way services are laid out and how people are treated.
There was not one giant room where there's sleeping bags and, people on a gym floor. Everybody had a space.
Agostino has visited tiny home villages in Chatham and Toronto, and earlier this spring traveled to Minnesota along with Mayor Drew Dilkens and fellow councillors.
They really have an incredible model that helps support people, but actually deals with the issues that we see playing out on streets like ours downtown.
Dilkens has also visited a number of cities, but was drawn to Minneapolis. He wants a model that works and likes what he saw.
If you are addicted, you can go into a Vivo Village. They have the supports there. You have your own sort of 8x8 pod where that is your home.
Dilkens says he's not looking to create the gold standard and attract out-of-towners to the city. He does feel, though, that there are a lot of good ideas to take away from a Vivo Village, which is an indoor community of 100 secure private dwellings providing shelter and wraparound services to those experiencing unsheltered homelessness.
If I had another dollar come into my hand, I'm not going to put it into a shelter system. I'm going to put it into something like a Vivo Village, because that's actually getting people off the street. You're wrapping the services around and getting them on a pathway to recovery.
It's housing first at a Vivo Village, followed by a harm reduction model.
Now it's time to look at Windsor Arena and say, when it comes to the future of that, how do we make sure we're doing the right thing?
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Beach season is just around the corner, and so are those all-important water quality reports. The Windsor-Essex County Health Unit is kicking off beach testing this week at 7 local beaches, checking for E. coli and tracking conditions daily through an expanded predictive monitoring program. Officials say it should give swimmers a better idea of whether it's a good day to dive in. Windsor's history has also in the spotlight today as a historic streetcar restoration project picked up 2 honors.
We have this award named after a very loved local history professor, Larry Kulisek, which we give out in honor of these kind of extraordinary acts of historic preservation. So we're very happy to give it for this beautiful restoration of the streetcar and also the overall setting of this entire location and how it's really made the riverfront that much more attractive for the entire population of Windsor.
The University of Windsor's History Department recognized the city for preserving streetcar number 351, now the centerpiece of the Legacy Beacon at Michael D. Hearst Legacy Park. Mayor Drew Dilkens accepted the award, while sheet metal workers and roofers Local 234 presented a handcraft keepsake for the restoration work. The streetcar was built in 1918 and once ran through Windsor, Sandwich, and Amherstburg before streetcar service was replaced by buses.
It took 3 terms of city council to put the pieces together to have this beautiful waterfront beacon. It's the best place, the closest place along your waterfront where you can come and enjoy a drink, a snack, and just enjoy part of our history.
The 2026 Southwest Food Innovation Summit was held in London today. CTV's Jerry Dewan has more on the event's mission and some of the success stories.
The Food Summit is designed to help entrepreneurs expand their small and medium-sized agri-food businesses.
Summits like this help provide that fodder that continues to grow these companies and help achieve scale, create employment and economic impact.
In recent years, London has attracted a number of international agri-food companies who value being in the province's agricultural heartland. But London Economic Development Corporation President Kapil Lakotia says it's equally important to encourage homegrown entrepreneurs.
It's like the perfect recipe. None of these ingredients work in isolation. So we need the infrastructure, the workforce capacity, the innovation culture, and so much more for all these companies to come together and create an ecosystem of support.
The summit was held at the Grove, an agri-food business incubator. Picasa Snacks is one of its startup businesses, adapting a chickpea recipe from the south of France.
My heritage is from the south of France, so I loved the simplicity of the meal and the snack and wanted to bring it back to Canada.
Picasa Snacks has continued to grow dramatically since launching at the end of 2020. 2022.
We actually have some big news. We're launching in Walmart nationally in August, and we're launching Costco roadshows in July and September.
They credit support received at the Grove and through other business agencies for their success.
Some of those mentors ended up becoming investors actually and helping us develop new products. Other ones helped us a lot with like regulations and navigating the whole food compliance side of things.
Emily O'Brien was the keynote speaker at the summit. She's an entrepreneur and founder of Comeback Snacks, a specialty popcorn company. But her path to success was unconventional, having served a 4-year federal prison term after being arrested carrying drugs through Pearson International Airport.
Marketing out people, if you want someone to open a letter, set up in prison. Yeah.
O'Brien wrote to successful business leaders for recommendations after she and other inmates started experimenting with popcorn recipes during their incarceration. She launched her business shortly after leaving prison and has used it to help other former prisoners looking for a fresh start.
I kept going. I was like, I'm going to do this. Within 6 months, I had my first hire that was someone that had been incarcerated in Kingston.
O'Brien stresses that everyone will face adversity and says perseverance is critical. More than 250 people attended the Food Summit, and organizers say they plan to expand the event in coming years. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
After 16 years of wings, sports, and community gatherings, a Windsor staple is closing its doors. The owner of Average Joe's says years of economic pressures and mounting challenges led to the difficult decision. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
We've been knocked down so many times, and we keep getting back up. The construction has just been a different beast.
Owner of Average Joe's, Colleen Kelly, says they've faced a series of difficult chapters, including the pandemic, a devastating fire, a mandatory shutdown, and ongoing construction surrounding the property. Despite the challenges, the business was much more than just a sports bar.
Our regulars are our family. Our staff is our family.
Employees say that feeling is what made Average Joe's special.
We're all family, so we're all here for each other all the time. Colleen takes great care of her staff, and it's the best place I've ever worked.
Customers packed the sports bar Tuesday for one final celebration.
It felt like a big loss, honestly. It almost felt like there was a death in the family.
Others say the loss will be felt far beyond the restaurant industry.
Devastating. We've worked probably 6-7 years with Colleen on our various Optimus events. Raise money here, let the kids come free. So it's looking for a new location that we can continue our work and supporting Colleen.
The closure also comes at a time when many restaurants across Canada continue struggling financially.
Today we're at about 36% of restaurant companies are saying they're just not profitable.
Restaurants Canada says rising operating costs combined with consumer spending less are putting enormous pressure on the industry. Chris Barnier says profit margins for Ontario restaurants remain among the tightest in the country.
Even a lot of restaurants that are really struggling to hold on and to protect jobs.
For some stopping by Tuesday, the closure feels personal.
I've been to memorials, I've been to celebrations, I've been to cornhole tournaments, I have been to Super Bowl parties, I have been here just with friends to have a good time, and I think this is going to be a great loss for Riverside and for Windsor.
And while this chapter is ending, ownership says they hope Average Joe's may one day return in a new form.
Something will be happening again eventually. We just have to pause. I don't think I've taken a day off in 16 years, so really looking forward to that. And just to take a breath and refresh, restart, renew.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, one of the oldest buildings in Ontario is right here in Windsor when you'll be able to tour it following refurbishments. Let's get a look at the forecast with CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald. And Gary, this is my favorite of your forecasts so far this year because we are talking pretty much nothing but sunshine.
Sunshine for Travis Fortnum. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And for you as well. Let's jump on the Travis Fortnum loves the sunny, warm weather bandwagon. I think we'd all agree it's been a fair weather, warm, and even summer-like, a teaser so far this mid-spring season. Almost reached 26 today. Our average is closer to, well, right in the middle between 22 and 23, 22.5. Ridge of high pressure has kept things quiet for the most part. We've seen some haze and some mid to upper level stratus form cloud, but really no precipitation to worry about. In the next 24 hours, I think we're going to see mostly clearing. If we do see any cloud, it is minor, not substantial, and of the fair weather variety. So that's the next 24 hours, but I think we'll extend this sunny, fair weather, lacking of precipitation forecast through to at least the end of the work week, Friday for most. Overnight temperatures are a couple of degrees above seasonal. 14 is mild. Should be a clear night for the most part across southwestern Ontario with a light breeze out of the north-northeast and say around 10 kilometers per hour or less. And then sunshine with some haze. There will be some hazy patches there through the early morning. I think the late morning, early afternoon could be quite sunny, beautiful blue sky, and then a bit hazier towards the afternoon, reaching a high of about 27 close to about 4 p.m., and then cooling off just a tad from there. But the overnights are still mild, and we expect that at this time of year. Average daytime high for tomorrow will be closer to about 23, with a low closer averaging about 12.5, 13 degrees. And so we are looking at nominal numbers, normal for this time of the year. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days straight as of this juncture where we're looking at sunshine, lower 20s and lower 20s for the next week, Sunday to begin next week. And then Monday, Tuesday, we'll see a transition from fair weather to some clouds moving in that could bring some wet weather. And that's a week from now. So there you have it. Some sunny weather and summer-like conditions continuing for at least the next day, and sunshine and seasonal from there. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. As a new strain of Ebola ravages Central Africa, Canada is imposing tighter border control measures just days before the world's biggest sporting event kicks off. CTV senior correspondent Judy Trin reports on the new precautions.
More than 1,000 suspected Ebola cases have been reported in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The outbreak has already killed more than 230 people. It has spread to neighboring Uganda and is putting South Sudan at risk. Less than 2 weeks before Canada is set to host the World Cup, the federal government is imposing tighter border restrictions to stop the virus from getting in.
The health risk to Canadians from Ebola remains low. We are putting forward a precautionary approach.
Officials say each week about 350 people enter Canada from the affected region, most from airports in Toronto and Montreal. Beginning Saturday, they will face additional screening. People who show symptoms will be sent to hospital for assessment. Others will have to self-isolate for 21 days. The quarantine measures take effect May 30th.
This takes a very, very small risk and makes it even smaller.
Immigration applications from the region will also be suspended. The processing of permanent and temporary resident visas, electronic travel authorizations, study and work permits will all be paused 90 days.
We have many people coming for the FIFA games. Luckily, at this point in time, none of these countries affected our playing in Canada.
Federal officials say these measures are imperfect but necessary. There is no vaccine for this strain of Ebola, and it's uncertain what's happening on the ground in Central Africa. 40% of the people who arrive from the DRC, Uganda, and South Sudan every week are foreign nationals, but the majority are Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault's time as a Liberal MP is coming to an end. According to multiple sources who have spoken to CTV News, Guilbeault previously resigned from cabinet, citing the government's shift on climate change policies, and Wednesday he's expected to walk away from federal politics. CTV's senior political correspondent Michael Couture has the story from Ottawa.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
Prime Minister Mark Carney sidestepped questions about his former minister, who will soon become his former MP. After nearly 7 years on Parliament Hill, Stephen Guilbeault confirmed to CTV News that he is quitting politics. He's expected to make it official at the Liberal caucus meeting on Wednesday.
I really appreciate his work, his advocacy, and I'm fully respectful of his decision.
Now, last year, Guilbeault resigned from cabinet after the federal government inked a memorandum of understanding with Alberta with a plan to build a new pipeline. The further rolling back of Trudeau-era environmental policies was seemingly the breaking point.
I'm a good friend of Stephen.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly says past policies on climate change weren't perfect.
We've seen the good impacts of that policy, but we've seen also the downfalls. And we need to be able to do both. We need to make sure that we bring Albertans on board.
Guilbeault's departure comes as more than a dozen Liberal MPs wrote to the Prime Minister last month, expressing concerns over policy changes like the new industrial carbon price in Alberta.
I believe many others are questioning themselves, and they should stand up and leave that party if they do believe the environment is important.
Are you worried about losing a majority over environmental policies and some resignations?
No.
The leader of the Green Party worries the Prime Minister has changed.
I don't find that there's anything left, whatever it was that I thought Mark Carney cared about relating to the climate crisis. I no longer find any traces of it in his policies.
Liberal Nate Erskine-Smith is also stepping down, while Jonathan Wilkinson has been appointed as the ambassador to the EU. The three departures will eventually trigger more by-elections, which could affect the Liberals' thin majority. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The TSX lost 177 points today. In New York, the Dow fell 118. The Nasdaq gained 312. The Canadian dollar lost a modest 0.04 of a cent. Gold dropped almost $21 an ounce. Oil fell almost $3 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. With the Gordie Howe International Bridge set to open a new bike link between Windsor and Detroit, the city is looking to make sure e-bike riders don't hit a roadblock the moment they cross into Canada. CTV's Sanjay Maru reports.
There are a wide range of e-bike options on the market today, from standard looks to a motorcycle style, even an electric tricycle. And riders of all types are looking ahead to a new way to travel between Windsor and Detroit when the Gordie Howe International Bridge opens. But questions remain about how e-bikes will be handled on and around the crossing. On the American side, some e-bikes are permitted on certain pedestrian pathways, but on the Canadian side, however, they are not allowed on shared pedestrian cycling pathways. That raises uncertainty about what will happen once riders cross the bridge and whether American cyclists will legally be able to continue using pathway systems once they enter Canada.
With the bridge, we have electrical vehicles that are allowed on American pathways but are not allowed on Canadian pathways. Could we create an exemption or an update to our parks bylaws?
That exemption would focus on multi-use paths connected to the new international crossing.
The last thing you want to do is cross the bridge, then find out you're breaking some type of law and getting a ticket or whatever it may be.
Here at Windsor Electric Bicycles, staff say their main clientele is seniors, people who want to stay active but need a bit of an assist for trips of all lengths.
We have commuters that come in as far as Amherstburg to Windsor.
For someone traveling longer distances, especially an international crossing like the Gordie Howe Bridge, the concern is whether the rules are clear enough to let them keep going once they get here. As for the city, the mayor acknowledges Windsor's traffic bylaws are due for a refresh and fast.
We need to be able to make that change ASAP, not knowing when the bridge will open. It could be 7 days from now. It could be 177 days from now.
Over in Detroit, cycling advocates say the idea of expanding the trail network into a whole new country is an exciting one.
It's all new to us, things to see and do. I know some people are a little bit intimidated about going over the bridge and that climb, and I think having an e-bike would alleviate some of those concerns.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
And if you'll be using either of the existing crossings to enter Detroit this weekend, take note, the Grand Prix is revving up and so are the road closures. While the tunnel CEO says getting into Detroit is a piece of cake, getting back may take a little more patience. Some downtown streets are already closing ahead of the race weekend with detours in place around the tunnel exit area. Officials say the traffic impact has been fairly smooth in past years, but drivers are still being urged to leave themselves a few extra minutes.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back with another look at the 7-day forecast. And Gary, we do see some clouds creeping in early next week, but the rest of this week looks great.
The rest of this week is warm, sunny, just the way you like it. I've heard on the street that a lot of people are liking the way you think about the weather. And with the sunny warmth and well above seasonal temperatures of late, which continues at least for another day before we're more seasonably warm, it's a good look the next 7 days overall. A week from now, we could see some showers. Now, in between Wednesday and Tuesday of next week, of course, gardens are going to need to get refreshed, right? Watering. If you're going to do it before sunrise and after dusk, right? We don't want all of that energy to evaporate, that water to evaporate, which in turn will feed and energize the growth in your gardens and lawns, of course. Wherever you are, use that sunscreen, protect your eyes, your sunglasses, and enjoy your weather. Have yourselves a good night. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Great weather to visit a local historic site, and more than 2 centuries of Windsor history will be on display this weekend as the Duff Babby House reopens in Sandwich Town. The home, built in 1798, is one of the oldest buildings in Ontario. The city says the site has undergone major restoration work with new exhibits and interactive features now added inside. Free self-guided tours run Saturday from noon until 4. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.